Yes, my audio, is it audible to all of you? Anybody respond? Yeah, audio వినపడతా ఉంది కదా క్లియర్ గా?
వినపడుతుంది సార్.
Okay, right. Okay. Okay, good morning to all of you. And still some of you, of your other classmates have to join. Anyway, I'll start today's class. But before starting today's class, I want to say few important announcements. That yesterday evening at around 8 o'clock, our principal sir had conducted a meeting with regard to the online class, that is Google Suite, G Suite. So up till now, we have been conducting online class on the Cisco WebEx platform. Okay, so uh, Cisco WebEx, I am conducting on Cisco WebEx. Maybe other faculties they may be conducting in the Teachment platform or on Zoom platform or any online platform. So now, as per the instructions of CCE higher authorities, that every college must conduct online classes on G Suite, that is Google Meet platform. So that is the reason. Uh, Yesterday, even Sir told that our college has been allotted G Suite. So yesterday, Sir has given the credentials to some of the faculty members and has instructed to henceforth carry on the online class on Google Meet platform. So we'll be transferring from in future. We'll be going on that platform. So in that context, I had sent the message in your group, that you must have a active Gmail ID. Okay, so you just before sending your Gmail IDs, you just check that whether it is functioning or not. It must be active. It must not be inactive. So then only you will receive the messages with regard to online class information. So you just check before sending your mail IDs whether it is functioning. You are receiving mails, and some of you must have forgotten your passwords. So just note down somewhere your user ID and password and the phone number linked to it, because sometimes Google sends OTPs. Okay, so what is the phone number that you have linked? That all credentials you just check once. You If you have forgotten your phone number, then you can password, then you can go for forgot password, and further instructions you follow as given by the Google. Okay, so that is one thing. And second thing is that you must download the Google Meet app in your mobile phone. Okay, that is needed, that is required for this thing. And see that yeah, see that all of you attend the online classes without fail, or else then today morning also I have called few people. Some of you have responded, some of you have not responded with regard to this online class. I don't know, some of the phones are not working or not. That can anybody tell that whether Divya in your class, whether she will be coming or not? Has she paid college fees? Anybody? Do you know your classmate Divya, whether she will be continuing or she is not there? Has she paid the college fees or not? Anybody respond? From girls, Bharati, Mary Flora, Nagaveni, do you know that your classmate Divya, whether she is there or not?
No, Sartil.
Okay. And Invoca, my blessee. My phone number is incoming is not going. Whatever phone number I am having, that is 9618271719. That number. So, who is staying near Blessy? Anybody of you, your classmates? ఎవరైనా బ్లెస్సీ ఇంటి దగ్గర ఉంటున్నారా? ఎవరైనా టచ్లో ఉన్నారా అట్లీస్ట్ బ్లెస్సీతో?
No, sir.
Okay. Anyway, that girl, she has also not, she is not active. And what about Madhu? Boys, anybody respond? Tarak, Sham and Vishnu. మీ క్లాస్మేట్ మధు ఉన్నాడు, అతను కూడా అసలు ఇంతవరకు జాయిన్ కాలేదు. మరి ఆ అబ్బాయి పరిస్థితి
రాడండి సార్ కాలేజ్
అదే రాడు కదా, డ్రాప్ అయినాడు కదా?
రాదు సార్, డ్రాప్ అయినా సార్. ఎగ్జామ్స్ కూడా రాలేదు సార్, సెకండ్ సెమ్.
ఎస్ ఎస్, ఓకే రైట్, ఓకే ఓకే తారక్, రైట్. Anyway, others almost all are attending regularly. Yeah, one more girl, Hasina. Yes, anybody from girls? Why I don't know. She is not responding the call also. She is not lifting the call also. Anybody say why that girl? Anybody in touch with Hasina? ఎవరైనా టచ్లో ఉన్నారా? I think she comes to college regularly. Anyway, once again I am telling Nagaveni, Bharati and Mary Flora, one of you just we contact her and tell her that she will be in trouble if she does not attend the classes, online classes.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Why? Because I am telling this is I have already posted so many times the instructions given by CCE, higher authorities, and principal, RHD, from university, from press note. Also, I have posted the clippings that all the sources are insisting that students must compulsorily attend the online classes without fail, or else who are not attending, they will not be allowed for the examinations, theory or practicals. So automatically you will be failed. Second thing uh, is that you will not be getting the scholarships also. So you won't get any sort of scholarship like Ammavadi, Jagananna Vidya Divana, Jagananna Vidya Vasati, and other financial benefits that are being provided from government to all of you. Okay. So in future, even last time we took that undertaking with regard to your that laptop, I think. So that financial aid will not be provided to you. So think over it. Don't unnecessarily be absent. Online is class is just government is encouraging so much for you that at least you are lucky enough that classes are running at least on online platform this pandemic situation. So we have instructions up to 20th. There is no other way but attending the classes online for you also, for us also. We have to conduct online only. So during this pandemic situation, as university has instructed even higher authorities that up to 20th online classes must and should be conducted for students. So uh, it is good for you also and for us also, because all of you just stay safe at home. Okay, don't come outside unnecessarily. Wear mask, use sanitizer, follow all the COVID-19 rules, and you can happily sit at your phone. You can listen to the online classes. Okay. So let us with this message. I want to just say that once again, you just check your email IDs, and then only you post. All of you most have, if you have already posted your email IDs. So what I want to say is just you check once, and then only, so that, and in future we will be shifting to uh, Google platform. That instructions I will do. Okay, no problem. How even that is a new platform for me also. We have received training from CC also in this regard. So that instruction I will give you shortly. Okay. Yeah. Let us start today's class. Let me share my slide first. Yeah. So I hope the slide is visible to all of you. Yes, anybody respond? Slide కనపడతా ఉంది కదా అందరికి?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Right. Mute yourself. Yeah, so last time we were discussing about the photosynthesis. That is, we discussed about the first part, that is the light reaction phase. Okay? So light reaction phase, uh, where the it is occurring in the presence of light, and there are two things happening. One is that photolysis of water is taking place and the oxygen is released. So that is called photolysis of water. And the second one is the regarding the photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. Okay. So photosystem 1 and 2, from here, due to the as they are linked by the electron transport and proton translocation, what is being produced here from the photosynthesis 1 and 2, we are getting the ATP manufactured as well as the NADPH. Okay, so this is the ultimate thing, that is ATP. So you just remember that first reaction. So another thing is that where this light reaction is taking place means in chloroplast in the thylakoid region. Okay, so this is the gram, or thylakoid. Here in the thylakoid region, the uh, first reaction, that is the light reaction phase, is occurring, where photolysis of water is taking place, release of oxygen is taking place. Then from the photosystem 1 and 2, the production of ATP and ADPH is taking place by what? By the cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation process. So ultimately, at the end of this light reaction phase, ATP is being produced and it is released from Ghana to the stroma region. So this is the stroma region, okay, the chloroplast. So in the stroma region, the second phase of the photosynthesis, that is the dark reaction phase. Okay, the dark reaction phase, you can say that it can occur either in the presence of light or in the absence of light. So it is light independent reaction, you can say. Whereas the first one is light dependent reaction. Has to be light has to be present. So here, if you see, now we will be discussing about this dark reaction. Here, what is happening in the dark reaction is the carbon dioxide fixation is taking place utilizing the energy ATPs, whatever ATPs that are being produced in the light reaction phase, that energy, that light energy has been converted into the chemical energy in the form of ATP. Now this ATP is utilized in the carbon dioxide fixation or carbon assimilation, from where the uh, carbohydrate is produced, that is the C6H12O6. So this second reaction is taking place in the stroma, where the photosynthetic pigments are present. So as we have discussed earlier, the light. So here, this in this picture, you see this is the photophosphorylation, that is in non-cyclic and cyclic. Okay, where the this is the thylakoid membrane, this is the lumen, this is the stroma. Okay, so here whatever in the lumen region, because of the photosystem 1, we are getting 6 protons. Okay, how 6 means we are getting 2 from photolysis of water and 4 from the quinone pool. Okay, so 4 protons. So overall there are 6 protons here. Just I'll show you the diagram. Yeah. So here there are 2 protons from photolysis of water, and 4 protons are translocated from the stroma region during the electron transfer from by the quinone pool, where it is transferring from pool to lumen region. So overall we are getting how many protons are there? 2 from here, photolysis of water, and 4 from here. Like that, there are 6 protons that are present. So these, like that, this keeps on accumulating. Okay, so all those protons get accumulated in the lumen, whereas causing the imbalance. That is, the in the stroma region, the proton concentration gets decreased, and in the lumen region, the proton concentration increases, wherein proton concentration gradient is formed. And based on the Peter Mitchell's chemiosmotic theory, uh, these 3 protons, okay, 3 protons, they are again pumped back to the stroma region. Okay, so these 3 protons, when they get translocated from by what? By the ATPase complex. So this is the ATPase complex where the tail region is the CF0 and head region is the CF1, coupling factor 0 and 1, where when these 3 protons passes on, translocated, that energy that is released by ATPase complex, that energy is utilized by adenosine diphosphate and inorganic phosphate, and that is how the ATP is formed. Okay, so for one ATP to form, 3 protons are dislocated. So that is the thing. So this is with regard to non-cyclic, and whereas if you see here, the cyclic, there are directly ATPs formed. Okay, between when electron transfers occurs between the ferredoxin and cytochrome B6, electron transfer occurs where the energy is sufficient for adenosine diphosphate and inorganic phosphate to bind, and ATP is formed. Here one ATP is formed, whereas another ATP is formed here between the cytochrome B6 and cytochrome F. Okay, so at that, here also one ATP is. So this is in case of what? Cyclic photophosphorylation. So here if you see, this is the what is that ATPase complex, where this is the tail region CF0 and here is the head region CF1. So here you can see the subunits of CF0, the CF1 complex. So all these, they move, they are like a motor sort of thing. When these 3 protons are translocated from this complex, so that 3 protons is sufficient to produce the ATPs. Okay, utilizing the energy of this proton translocation. So that once these ATPs are formed, so all these ATPs are where in the stroma region. Now the second main phase of the photosynthesis, that is the dark reaction phase. Okay, so dark reaction phase, as I said earlier, that it is the carbon dioxide fixation, or it is also known as carbon assimilation phase, where based on the first stable compound, carbon dioxide fixation is classified into 2. That is, one is C3 cycle, another one is C4 cycle. So what is this C3 means? The first stable compound that is forming, the first product that is forming is the 3 carbon product. In case of Calvin, this is also called Calvin cycle, based on the scientist Melvin Calvin. Based on that, first stable compound, 3 carbon compound, is named as C3 cycle. Same is the case with regard to C4 cycle, where this is also known as Hatch and Slack pathway, where the first stable compound formed here is a 4-carbon compound, that is why it is named as C4 cycle. So we'll be discussing one by one. So let us today go in detail with regard to C3 cycle, that is Calvin cycle. So the C3 cycle, if you see, it is a cyclic reaction occurring in dark phase of photosynthesis. And in this reaction, carbon dioxide is converted into sugar. And hence, it is a process of carbon fixation. So, what is happening here? Whatever carbon dioxide that is there, that is being utilized here, it is fixed and it is converted into the carbohydrate, that is sugar. That is the first. Second point is that the Calvin cycle was first observed by the scientist Melvin Calvin in chlorella. So what is chlorella? It is a unicellular green algae. So Calvin, he did this experiment of photosynthesis, that is dark reaction phase, on the chlorella species, where he could come out with this cycle, C3 cycle, also named as Calvin cycle. And for this work, Calvin was awarded Nobel Prize in the year 1961. Since the first stable compound, Calvin cycle, is a 3-carbon compound, the cycle is also known as 3 cycle, okay, based on the 3-carbon stable compound. So what is that 3-carbon compound? We discuss in the cycle. So if you just see the outlook of this C3 cycle, then there are 3 main stages you can say. Now what are those stages? The first one is the fixation, carbon dioxide fixation, or it is also known as carboxylation. So if you look here, the carbon dioxide which is there, that combines with this substrate, that is RUBP. So this is RUBP, is the full form is ribulose 1,5-bisphosphate. So this is the primary carbon dioxide acceptor. So the first reaction taking place, the carbon dioxide fuses with RUBP, and the first product that is forming is 3-phosphoglycerate or 3-phosphoglyceric acid. It is also known as PGA. This PGA is nothing but 3-carbon compound. Okay, so that is the first phase. This is the first 3-carbon compound, stable compound PGA. That is the reason it is known as what C3 cycle. Okay, and this reaction is known as what? Carbon fixation. This is the first stage, or it is also known as carboxylation. That is first phase. Now second phase is the reduction phase. So what is happening here? Here is that this phosphoglycerate is converted into 6 molecules of 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. This 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate is converted into 6 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate or phosphoglyceraldehyde. This thing, okay, it is getting reduced. Okay, so this product is formed. So this process of reduction, this is the reduction process. This is the second main phase, that is the phase 2, reduction phase. So third phase is the regeneration. Now what is this regeneration phase means? The first substrate, if you see, that is the primary carbon dioxide acceptor, RUBP. Here, this has to be regenerated. Okay, then only we call it as a cycle. So once it has started here, so again it has to end here only. So again what happens, this glyceraldehyde, phosphoglyceraldehyde, this thing, it gets converted into RUBP, ribulose 1,5-bisphosphate. So this is the One second. Here. Yeah. So here again, this thing has to be regenerated. So that is why it is called regeneration phase. So this is the third phase, regeneration of carbon dioxide acceptor, that is RUD. Okay. So you just briefly remember these three main stages. So one is carbon dioxide fixation or carboxylation. Okay, this one. Second one is regeneration. Sorry, not regeneration, reduction. And third one is the regeneration. Now coming down to the main cycle, you see. So in the exam, I'm not going into this theory part and all that. In this, like this, you have to write all the stages. Suppose this is the first reaction, stage one. Like this, you have to write first step. In here, you have to write the equation. Okay, you have to write the enzyme here, and you have to write the product here. And this same thing, okay, the same equation, you have to describe it. That how many molecules of carbon dioxide and how many molecules of regular bisphosphate is fusing in the presence of what enzyme and what is the product that is being formed. Okay, like that you have to mention step by step all the reaction phases. So I won't be reading this, it will be confusing for you. Straight away we'll go to the cycle where I can explain you in a sequence. So just you see this cycle. So as you see this picture, you must be remembering that recalling your intermediate. I have lifted this picture from that intermediate book only, so that the in-between steps that are there, the C3 cycle, you can understand easily. This is good simplified way. Okay, so if you just see this, this is the C3 cycle, also known as the Calvin cycle. Okay, this is also known as the Calvin cycle or PCR cycle, photochemical reaction. And this here you just see this thing that whatever here boxes are like this, okay? This square boxes are there. These are the reaction steps, and same numbering is here 1, 2, 3, and like that. So we'll be discussing one by one. So suppose this is the first step. Below you see the enzyme with regard to the first step. Number 1 is there. Here numbering is there. You here the enzymes are mentioned here. So enzymes indicated are here in the numbers. So we'll see the first equation, first reaction. What are the substrates? What is the product? As well as you see the enzyme also below. Okay. So let us start this C3 cycle, where if you see here that three molecules of carbon dioxide. Okay. Three. One thing, another thing you remember that this thing, all thing, this cycle is going on where chloroplast in the stroma region. Okay, remember that thing. So here, this three molecules of carbon dioxide is accepted by three molecules of RUBP, that is ribulose 1,5 bisphosphate or biphosphate. So this is the primary carbon dioxide acceptor, and it is fusing to form what? Six molecules of PGA, phosphoglycerate or phosphoglyceric acid. So this is a three carbon compound, first stable compound that is formed here. That is the reason it is known as C3 cycle. Okay. So first reaction. So the first reaction taking place in the presence of what? In the presence of an enzyme. Just to, yeah. So in the presence of enzyme Rubisco. Okay. So full form of Rubisco is nothing but RUBP, carboxylase oxygenase. So here, in the presence of this enzyme Rubisco, the first reaction is taking place where three molecules of carbon dioxide are fusing with three molecules of ribulose 1,5 biphosphate, forming six molecules of 3 phosphoglyceric acid. 3 carbon compound. This is first reaction. Now come down to second reaction here, where this 3-phosphoglyceric acid is converted into, 6 molecules of 3-phosphoglyceric acid is converted into 6 molecules of 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate or 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid, in addition to 6 ATPs that are utilized here and getting converted into 6 molecules of ADP and inorganic phosphates. So this is the second reaction. Here if you see below, the enzyme here is the second reaction. I am underlining it. Phosphoglycerokinase. Okay. So you remember if you the enzymes chapter where we had discussed the transferase category, second category of enzyme, where transaminase, huh, like this kinase, transkinase. So kinase is the enzyme related to what? Phosphate group. Okay. So this in the presence of this, so as this is a phosphorylation reaction where phosphate group is being transferred from ATP, adenosine triphosphate, to 3-phosphoglyceric acid, and that is getting doubled here. Okay, 3,1,3 biphosphoglyseric acid. Okay, so this is a phosphorylation reaction. Where from the ATPs are coming? These ATPs that are produced in the light reaction that are being utilized here. Okay, remember that. So this second reaction is the phosphorylation reaction, and the first reaction is the what? Carbon dioxide fixation reaction, carboxylation. Now here, after the phosphorylation reaction, second reaction, coming down to the third reaction here, the third reaction is the reduction reaction, where 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate is reduced to 6 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Okay, this is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, or it is also known as phosphoglyceraldehyde, PGAL. Okay, so you can name it as either 6 molecules of phosphoglyceraldehyde or 6 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. That is, in short, we have written it as G3P. So we have divided these 6 molecules into 6 here in the pool, in box we have kept it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and these 6. So this is known as what? Glyceraldehyde pool. Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate pool. Okay, G3P. Now this is a reduction reaction where the 1,3 biphosphoglyseric acid in the presence of 6 molecules of NADPH is getting converted into NADP. Okay, and where a reduction reaction, hydrogen is getting added to 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid, and it is getting converted into 6 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate in the presence of what? In the presence of the enzyme. Here if you see below, third reaction, glyceraldehyde phosphate dehydrogenase. It is G3P, not GAP. Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. It is a dehydrogenation reaction. Why dehydrogenation reaction means? From NADPH, hydrogen is getting de-splitted and accepted by NAD, bisphosphoglyceric acid. Okay, so now this NADPH, this ATP, all these are coming from the light reaction. Now what happens here? You remember so this is the reduction reaction. So the second main phase, okay, the second main phase in the C3 cycle, that is reduction. Now here onwards, from glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate onwards to the first substrate, that is the RUP, all the steps are the regeneration steps, okay, that come under the third category, that is the regeneration of RUBP, the primary carbon dioxide acceptor. Now just see one by one how it is. So here, if you see, this is the 1, this is the 2, this is the 3, 4, 5, and 6. So as we have finished 3 reaction, now coming down to the 4th reaction. In 4th reaction, what is happening here? This is an isomerization reaction where here the second, the 4th, and the 6th glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate are participating. They are getting converted into dihydroxyacetone phosphate, all the three. That is the second, 4, and 6. So this is the 4th reaction, as you can see here, all number 4, 4th reaction. This is what it is an isomerization reaction where glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate isomer, that is dihydroxyacetone phosphate, is forming here. Okay, so here if you see below here, so this is the 4th reaction where the enzyme involved here is the triose phosphate isomerase. As it is an isomerization reaction, the main enzyme is isomerase. So this is the 4th reaction, isomerization reaction. So you remember, here you can easily remember 2, 4, 6 are getting converted into DHA. Now coming down to the 6th step, that is just not 6th step, it is the 6th glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, that is the dihydroxyacetone phosphate, that is converted here. The 6th one, you just remember that it is sent out from chloroplast to cytoplasm. It is exported for the production of dextrose, for the production of sugar. This last one, dihydroxyacetone phosphate, it is sent out from the chloroplast. Now how many are remaining? Now 5 are remaining. So 1, 3, and 5 are G3Ps, and 2 NADPH, sorry, 2 DHAPs are remaining. Now the 5th reaction. So here if you see, this is the 5th reaction where the 5th glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is fusing with the dihydroxyacetone phosphate, and it is forming fructose 1,6 biphosphate. Okay? Fructose 1,6 biphosphate. So if you look at the enzyme here, the uh, enzyme here is involved is aldolase. So you can say that it is an ligation reaction where two substrates, dihydroxyacetone phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, are getting fused to form fructose 1,6 biphosphate. Now coming down to the 6th reaction. So here this is the 6th reaction where the fructose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 1,6 biphosphate is converted into fructose 6-phosphate. So this is a dephosphorylation reaction where if you see the 6,3 enzyme here below, it is fructose 1,6 bisphosphate where the phosphate is being released. So from fructose 1,6 biphosphate, by releasing phosphate, it is getting converted into fructose 6-phosphate. Okay, this is the 6th reaction occurring in the presence of phosphatase enzyme. Okay, now the 7th reaction. From here, if this fructose 6-phosphate, it fuses with glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and it gets converted. So this third glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is fusing with this fructose 6-phosphate, and it is forming what? It is forming two products. One is erythrose 4-phosphate and another one is xylulose 5-phosphate. Okay? So one is erythrose 4-phosphate, another one is xylulose 5-phosphate. So this is the 7th reaction where uh, the enzyme involved here is trans-ketolase. Where two products are forming where erythrose 4-phosphate and xylulose 5-phosphate. Now further again condensation reaction where the 8th reaction, if you see here, where dihydroxyacetone phosphate is fusing with erythrose 4-phosphate and it is forming pseudoheptulose 1,7-5-phosphate. Okay, so this is the eighth reaction. It is occurring in the presence of aldolase enzyme. The eighth enzyme here is the aldolase. So where you can say it is a ligation reaction where dihydroxyacetone phosphate fuses with erythrose 4-phosphate forming pseudoheptulose 1,7-biphosphate. Now here one reaction is taking place, that is the phosphorylation dephosphorylation reaction where pseudoheptulose 7-phosphate is converted into pseudoheptulose 7-phosphate by releasing inorganic phosphate. So this is number 11, it is mentioned here. So the 11th enzyme that is responsible here is the pseudoheptulose 1,7-bisphosphate. Okay, so phosphatase, not bisphosphate, bisphosphatase is the enzyme responsible for this dephosphorylation reaction, where phosphate is released from pseudoheptulose 1,7-biphosphate to pseudoheptulose 7-phosphate is the product form. Now, further reaction, the ninth reaction, where pseudoheptulose 7-phosphate it fuses with glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. The first glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate fuses here with pseudoheptulose 7-phosphate, forming two products. One is ribose 5-phosphate, another one is xylulose 5-phosphate. So this is a ninth reaction where two products are formed in the presence of ketolase enzyme. So one is ribose 5-phosphate and xylulose 5-phosphate. Next one is the 10th reaction, which is an isomerization or epimerization reaction where so here this is the 10th reaction here and here where the xylulose 5-phosphate formed in the ninth reaction and the xylulose 5-phosphate formed in the seventh reaction. So these two xylulose 5-phosphate they are getting isomerized into ribulose 5-phosphate, three molecules of ribulose 5-phosphate. So here two are formed and so here if you look at the enzyme, the 10th enzyme that is involved here is the ribulose 5-phosphate epimerase. Okay, epimerase, isomerase, all are similar. So you can say xylulose 5-phosphate here, both the xylulose 5-phosphate, the isomer is ribulose 5-phosphate. Both are similar, but their structure, chemical structure is different. That's all. Now the 12th reaction, if you see, the ribulose 5-phosphate that is here, this ribulose, sorry, not ribulose, ribose 5-phosphate. Okay, this ribose 5-phosphate it gets converted into ribulose 5-phosphate. So this 12th reaction, if you see here, so this is the enzyme ribose 5 isomerase. Okay, so it is an isomer. Ribose 5-phosphate isomer is ribulose 5-phosphate. So now three molecules of ribulose 5-phosphate we are getting here. So one is from ribose 5-phosphate, two are from coming from xylulose 5-phosphate from the step 9 and the step 7. So three molecules of ribulose 5-phosphate are formed here. Now the last reaction, that is the 13th reaction here, is the phosphorylation reaction where uh, three molecules of ribulose 5-phosphate gets converted into three molecules of ribulose 1,5-biphosphate. So where from phosphate is coming is three molecules of ATP are utilized here. Okay, so three molecules of ribulose 5-phosphate plus three molecules of ATP are giving three molecules of ribulose 1,5-biphosphate plus three molecules of ADP. So that is how we are getting the RUBP back. So now it is generated. So this is the third phase, that is the regeneration phase. Okay, we have already regained the first molecule, first primary carbon dioxide acceptor molecule, that is the RUBP, ribulose 1,5 bisphosphate. So this is the complete detailed cycle. So in exam also it is better. What I suggest is you follow this cycle only. Okay, the steps is it will be easy, and just you name the reactions in the sequence. These 13 to 12 to 13 reactions. In the below you just mention the enzymes that are involved in all those reactions here. Okay, so this is C3 cycle. Now, if you look at the summary, so what is happening here? So here, so this is the chloroplast where uh, this is the light reaction is taking place in the grana part. So where light energy is converted into ATPs and NADPH, and the water is utilized here. From this, from water, the oxygen is released, okay? And as well, the oxygen is released in the light reaction as well as the ATPs and NADPH are formed. So from grana, they are released into the stroma, and this is the dark reaction, chloroplast, that is the Calvin C3 cycle that is occurring in the stroma. So in stroma, these ATP, NADPH are utilized, and CO2 fixation is occurring here, where uh, the one of the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is sent or exported out for formation of sugar, and this whole cycle is occurring in 3 stages. So what are those 3 stages? One is the carbon dioxide fixation. Now second one is the reduction, and the third one is the regeneration phase. So in the what is that first carbon dioxide fixation here, so the carbon dioxide in the presence of first primary carbon dioxide acceptor RUBP, in the presence of Tubisco enzyme, it is converted into 3 carbon compound, that is uh, 3-PGA, phosphoglyceric acid or phosphoglycerate. Okay, so this is first stage, carbon assimilation or carbon fixation, sorry, carboxylation or carbon fixation. Now this is converted into glyceraldehyde 1,3 bisphosphoglyceric acid or glycerate. This for 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate is reduced into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Okay, this is the second main reduction phase. Now this from here glyceraldehyde one molecule is released out for the formation of sugar into the cytoplasm. Remaining 5 glyceraldehyde 3 molecules, they undergo a number of reactions, intermediate reactions, and they ultimately RUBP is formed back return. So this is the regeneration of the carbon